Welcome and good evening, everybody, to Invictus Racing League's F1 division. It must be a Monday night because we're out there to race F1, and it's brought to you, sponsored by GT Omega and by Nailcut Hall Hotel Golf and Country Club, and brought to you in partnership with Driver61 and Gridfinder.com. My name is Webbo, and as has been tradition through the whole of this season, I'm ably joined by my good friend Lightning in the comms booth. Hey, Lightning.
Hello, everyone.
Lightning, we've enjoyed no end of amazing racing through this season so far. We've had 6 cracking races. I hope we're going to have an even better one tonight. We are super pumped to have old friend of yours and mine, DomThNoodle, join the group. And I know that some of his time trial times and things are causing quite a lot of excitement, certainly in the comms booth at least. But of course, we're perfectly impartial all the time. But DomThNoodle joining 6 races in is going to have a tough time competing with the championship standings. Right now, with last week's win, Acosta takes the lead of the championship in the Alpine. And he's on currently 70 points, joint with Burmeister. Sorry, I've got that wrong. Wait a second. Look at the right
Max.
list, Webbo.
Or is it Living?
Right, Webbo. No. So, Acosta has got 46 points. Excuse me, I was reading the constructors because it's got the drivers' names in it as well. Acosta in Colombia gets the 46 points for the Drivers' Championship so far with the win last week. 2 wins to his name. Daniele Musso is second, also with 2 wins to his name and another podium. He's on 42 points. Then Max in the McLaren is on 41 points, but with much more consistent finishes than the top 2. They both have a mixture of DNS and DNFs. Then we've got Livingwall, Foxy Red, Speed Queen with a great result last week, despite not being happy with it. Speed Queen, I remember that much at least from our interviews last week. Speed Queen currently in 6th place in the championship, but having a great run of form and hoping to get that top step of the podium that she's been looking for all season long. As I was just leading into the constructor standings, see Alpine with Acosta and Nathan at the top, joint level with Alfa Romeo, Burmeister and Daniele Musso. Then McLaren, AlphaTauri, Mercedes and Aston Martin, and currently Ferrari only have 2 points on the board, so need a much better set of finishes to come. But Lightning, we're heading out to Spa in Belgium. What are you expecting to see tonight?
Usually we're accustomed to seeing very close grids. Last weekend we went from the shortest race on the calendar, shortest lap time, to the longest. So maybe a little bit more spaced out. We could see the likes of Musso put in one of those wondrous laps again, like we saw last time on those medium tyres to get pole position. But I'm not expecting very, very close like we're used to, because it's such a long track.
Yep.
But if we do see that, then it just shows the calibre that we have here. Of course, we have newcomers of DomThNoodle, who's had 1 month off league racing, first league race back. Recently in the trials, I think just yesterday or this morning, he won the 50% race by 20 seconds from pole position.
Wow.
So that's pretty impressive.
Not sandbagging at all then.
Back ready to fight for top positions.
Abby's here supporting Burmeister. Max is in the chat already. Welcome if you're joining us, and do exactly what Max and Abby have done and let us know who you are and who you're here to support. We welcome everybody, of course, to the coverage, and we hope you have as good an evening or better than you've had with us on the previous Monday nights. But we're really looking forward to seeing one of these absolute standout classic tracks of the F1 calendar. A test of driver skill, a test of nerve through the corners such as Eau Rouge and Blanchimont, and also a test of being able to stay away from the curbs, Lightning.
Absolutely, these curbs here, especially on this game, they are absolutely lethal. Going into turn 4, if you touch that inside curb, you will automatically spin. You either have to completely mount it and hope for the best, or avoid it at all costs. And then the left-hander straight after that is also an auto spin curb. So it's going to be quite challenging, especially with the quantity of corners and high-speed ones at that. It's going to be a test to a driver's ability to keep it on track.
Talking of test, Lightning, Max has just given us a weather update. We're expecting a rainy start to the race. And then it will dry
even
out.
More chaotic.
Absolutely. Hopefully we'll have some dry qualifying and see some amazing laps. First out of the pit lane. Well, not first out the garage, but due to his position in the pit lane is A. Quinlan in the AlphaTauri. Then joined on track by Rimac, I think, who's out already and warming up the tyres. But great to have a track with corner names again to talk about, and some iconic areas of the track that everybody knows and loves, who's been watching F1 for more than a season or two. So yeah, we really appreciate Max for giving us that weather forecast. And Aquin just struggling around the corners of the Fania chicane there.
Cold tyres at the moment.
Yeah.
Just warming them up. Ready for the lap.
Absolutely. Going to get to that. They will cool down again down the long stretch in the final sector before stamping on the brakes for the bus stop chicane. We'll probably see some weaving down this straight, Lightning.
Yeah. Especially in the race, the slipstream effect of this track, especially if you also keep your ERS, don't use it too much throughout the whole lap.
Yeah.
You can gain so much time on someone into the bus stop. It's the bus stop chicane. Quite a tongue twister of that.
Down into La Source goes Quinlan. I think just riding the curve a little bit, but take it away for us, Lightning.
Up the best corner of the calendar. Radion? Yep. Down the camel, up the camel straight even. Keep to the inside a little bit and then drift slightly to the left as you go along. Brake just before the 50 meters. Don't touch that curb. Slightly touch that one and bin it in the wall. Okay, lovely stuff.
Hey Quinlan, unfortunately that is out. Let's take up the lap perhaps with Rimac, who was just behind on track. But yeah, through Lake Coombe.
Safe run through the right-hander. Very difficult braking point, especially if you don't have a racing line here. It's very understeering.
We've also lost Bills in the Eau Rouge, Lightning, unfortunately.
Must be running quite an over-series setup to lose it there. Sending it through Fluon. Absolutely amazing commitment. Very, very fast corner there. Difficult braking point again, just after the 50 meters. You can either touch that curb slightly or go completely over it, but it also spins you around very easily.
Yeah.
Flat out through this right-hander. On for provisional pole, of course, as it's the first lap of the qualifying session. Going.
Interestingly, I was told that Stinson, along with Dan and Reshka, wouldn't be making it tonight. But Stinson, we know is out there, so we have collected 19 drivers so far. So we should be good.
Stuff. Always nice to have committed drivers.
Definitely.
1 minute 43.6.
Absolutely. And let's have a look at. I think it's is it Martin just finishing his lap. He's heading down towards the bus stop. And do you take more curb on the way in than the way out, Lightning, on the apexes? Yep.
The curb on the left-hander of the chicane can very easily spin you. It's every curb here is pretty dangerous, to be honest.
Nathan goes first on a 43.1. Yep. Martin only got a 43.7. M. Doran a 43.6. Similar to Rimac's time. A lot of congratulations coming in for Ryan for that lap, but I do think we're expecting a little bit better overall as Matty comes on out of the final corner. Where will Matty go here? Up to P3. Again on soft tyres, like nearly everybody. Maggots, I think, is going to be next. No, I think we've got... is it... Foxy, potentially, starting a lap?
I think Maggot is ending a lap at the moment.
Yeah. It looked a little bit slow on the way out of the final corner, and there he is, a 42.8. Very handy time indeed.
I do agree with you. I think he struggled for the traction, so definitely more time to make up for the provisional pole man.
Talking of struggling, Stinson is wrestling the car into the pit lane as we speak, and just hit the wall, but continues, thankfully. Looks like Dawidek is going to be the only solo driver in his team tonight, so he takes up the Haas seat, and his teammate is not present.
Haas is usually alone.
It's true. Where is he at the moment? He's on
15th,
1 lap old.
and he is running out of fuel, so I think he has to pit.
Yeah, he's done 1 lap, and presumably invalidated yet. Now, you and I know a fairly famous moment for Dawidek in Spa, and hopefully he will not see a safety car this time round. I know it's something that haunts his nightmares.
Yeah,
safety car around Spa.
Plagued.
Yeah.
The safety car curse.
So he doesn't have it all his own way. Burmeister's on a lap, though, I think, right now.
Yep. Lots of speed through that right-hander into the most understeery corner of the calendar, to be honest.
Yeah.
Reasonable speed, keeping it quite safe. Definitely can go push limits a bit more through there, as we'll probably see from his teammate. Nice clean run through Pluon. Very lovely stuff, very stable. High downforce possibly on the rear end.
Drops a couple of gears to go into Fania. And this is what I will refer to as Stavlo, although apparently it keeps changing its name. But Stavlo is the most most consistent name.
Stavlo 1 and 2. Oh, Daniele are one of our championship protagonists.
There's a good time from Daniele in Burmeister's teammate's car. Daniele at 42.1, significantly quicker than anybody else. What about Burmeister? Has been picking up the pace recently, but this one's not going to be hot. It's a 43.8 on soft tyres. As you said, you did predict that the gaps would start to open out with the drivers. Max has gone into P4. Max doing well in the championship at the moment. Currently invalidated his lap, but he's on. He's managed to get a P4. You can't really do 2 laps chained together around Spa, especially on the softs. Lightning, you've got to commit to 1 and then come back to the pits.
Yeah, but we do have wet weather coming for the start of the race. So despite it adding quite a fair bit of tyre wear, if you're desperate, then and you have enough fuel, then you might as well go for it.
Liam's on a lap right now, and his single lap pace is very impressive. Perhaps less the overall racecraft at this stage, but I'm sure he's working on it. Single lap pace is definitely in it.
He's going to start a lap now because no mind, he's into the
in
pits.
He comes. Yes.
I think he may have made a mistake. But after 2 laps, the tyres definitely lose quite a lot of speed. But if you've invalidated and kept them in pretty good check, then you can maybe go for another one.
Speed Queen with the pink and yellow helmet comes out of the final corner, straight up to P3 on her first attempt. So living up to her PS handle with a P3 time as a banker lap. Very nice indeed. We've got anybody else actually attacking a lap right now. Stinson has just started his lap, so we'll stay with him. I think Dawidek is likely to... It's just closing out his outlap, I think, right now. So
Stinson has to have been one of the weirdest characters this whole season, because showed fantastic pace in the opening round.
Yep.
Then had that throttle failure, and after that he just disappeared. I'm not sure what happened to us.
No,
2
indeed.
points for Ferrari.
As you say, so far it's a 0 points followed by a string of DNF, DNS, 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 DNF for Stinson, despite having really early, strong pace, as you say, in Brazil, the first round.
And invalidation to add insult to injury.
Well, let's see if Dawidek can chain a lap together now. He's made it safely through Eau Rouge and Radion. Looking for his first sector time. It's a 30.136.
Purple.
Purple. I don't know if that's just purple for him at this stage, because he's yet to set. Takes a wide entry into Rivage. Doesn't
Nice
trouble the
rotation.
apex, but keeps the minimum speed pretty high.
Oh, esports line.
Yeah, this is this is cheeky
What
stuff.
a sweat.
Again,
I'm not sure how much
stays
time it
wide.
gains you, but
Yeah, stays wide through Pouin. 3 gears down into Lefania, but he was in 8th, so it's a 5th gear entry. 4th. Straight short shift up to 5th to go through Stavlo. This is looking quick, Lightning.
that was so close in validation, but keeping it to the right-hander. That Stavlo 2, as I'm calling it, you can actually surprisingly lose it going flat out. It's very weird on this game, but takes it very well. Late braking, good rotation through the bus stop.
Every inch of the
Clean
track
traction.
through there. And it is a
P1.
41.9. It's a 41.9. That's not far from his PB. I know we've got a lot of fans of Rimac, so being asked to follow him. But Dawidek, provisional pole of 41.9, 3/10 away from 2nd place. And no one has yet joined him in the 41 club. Stinson is on the outside of Lecombe. Sorry, Lecombe. I'm using the Martin Brundle pronunciation, which has been drilled into my head over the last few years. But Lecombe, it is in French. I think this is a slow lap for Rimac, currently driving in P13. Yeah, an invalidation for him. Anybody else? Matty's going slowly. Sorry, go on.
Do you call Vettel Vettel?
No. I remembered when I think it was David Coulthard first said it was Vettel to rhyme with kettle. That's the way that stuck for me then. We've got Kimi, showed great pace last week. Kimi's in 3rd. Acosta in 4th, leading the championship right now. Nathan invalidates over the line on the way out of No Name. But who else is on a lap? Doran is heading through Fania. Everybody wants to see someone that we're not watching. I'm afraid we've only got the ability to watch one driver at a time. Some fuss over Foxy as well. We'll try and cut back to Foxy momentarily, but let's see Doran finish out the lap. We haven't followed an Aston Martin lap just yet. The line of least resistance, least possible steering angle through Blanchimont. And then the exact opposite, maximum steering lock, and he goes into pits. Brilliant.
Nathan has invalidated his time and gone into the pits as well.
Well, just to keep the people happy, I went to see Foxy, who invalidated 1 second later.
Oh, commentator's curse. Or maybe
No,
it's the commenter's curse.
Yes, it's definitely the audience's fault, so sorry about that. I'm going to blame you, Abby, for that one. You asked me to go on board Foxy, so... Only kidding. Burmeister is on a lap, isn't he? Yeah. Usually got some pace, Burmeister. Livingwall uncharacteristically in 9th at the moment. But I imagine that the likes of Dawidek and Daniele are going to be maximum attack. Burmeister's half a second faster than he's been before, which he needs, and some, to get up into the mix in the top group. So where does this one going to see him come on out? Can he gain further time in the final sector? It's a long wait for the braking zone. Too long to think about it, really. A bit like the China Straight.
Yeah, it's you have to use all your concentration. Make sure you don't mess up.
So Burmeister P11, the perfect midfield starting position. Max is on a lap and is 0.04 faster currently through sector 1. How's he going to do on this one? Our Frenchman. A little bit slow perhaps through Stavolo. Lightning, do you feel?
Well, he has got a purple sector 2, so it hasn't slowed him down too much.
Yeah. But that's the
very,
downforce
very
sector of the track, really, isn't it? It's
yeah.
Then you've got the long drag sectors of the low drag sectors of sectors 1 and 3. So you give, if you get some with downforce and you lose some, it's always a gamble around Spa. 42.6, which is good, up to P4. Very nice.
Currently ahead of our championship leader.
Yeah, absolutely. Liam just taking 2 bites of the cherry into the bus stop, but no way through. And I think drivers are going to make mistakes tonight into the pit lane. Lightning, it definitely seems to be catching some people out.
It is a horrible pit entry, has to be said. I think we're going to see a lot of drivers tested, especially on these horrible curbs. Probably the worst track on the calendar for curb damage, shall we say. Not only does it give you floor damage with the simulation damage on this game, but it also spins you out.
Yeah. I'll tell you, Maggot, we want to look for Maggot into the Rivage corner during the race. He is mighty into corner entry. He loses a little on corner exit, but I can see him launching one into Rivage tonight. The way he's throwing the car around with confidence. On the ragged edge, and there he is, just proving that point with a purple middle. Yeah.
Yeah.
How long are we going to have the white Red Bulls around for, do you think, Lightning?
1 month until the Saudi Arabia track comes out.
Okay.
So I quite like it. It's alright.
It's fine.
I prefer the Gulf McLaren, I have to say.
That was the best. The best one of the year. Yeah. Maggot's slow out of the bus stop, still gained on his previous time, up to P6. So nice stuff. I feel like they just made a mistake leaving the yellow and grey halo, leaving the yellow on the Red Bull. For me, it didn't feel very Honda-y to me to still have that yellow on, but never mind. It's a good attempt, and I can see why people would like it.
But Honda is the land... Wait, no. Japan is the land of the rising sun. So, maybe sun, yellow, maybe that.
No. Red on white. That's what it's all about for Japan and Honda. Especially the Honda car that they were referencing, which was pure red and white.
Yeah, fair enough. I think the yellow does look a bit ugly. Moving on to Kimi, who I think is starting his lap, going
just watching Nathan at the moment, but yeah, keep us in touch. I think maybe Dawidek's on a lap as well, but given that we haven't watched Nathan yet.
For Dawidek.
Ooh, okay, Nathan's half a second up in the second sector. Let's see Dawidek finish off the lap then. He's quicker still. Yeah, he's a tenth and a quarter up on his best time. Can he beat a .992? Slow, short shifting on the way out, and yeah, he does beat it at 41.7. And Lightning, that's crazy close to his personal best.
That is fantastic. That is 2/10 off.
Wow.
This is the sort of stuff that Daniele pulls off, but not this weekend. I think,
got Nathan just getting up to P3 and Foxy up to P8. We know Foxy's got pace, so that one's going to be interesting to watch later on. Is that our Costa finishing a lap? It is, but he's already lost it. We've got, I think, Doran about to cross the line. Look for him. He goes up to P10. Livingwall, currently 12th. Can he get up above his teammate? Wow, Daniele Musso's dropped the bar, Lightning.
Wow. Well, I was just saying that this is the sort of stuff Musso pulls off, and he goes and pulls it off.
Wow.
That is absolutely fantastic.
Brilliant
Kimi
stuff from
managed
Daniele.
to get 1.5 tenths faster, just solidifying P4.
Absolutely. Hats off to Daniele for that lap. That's something else. Unfortunately, we didn't see it, but Daniele with a lap at the very final seconds of qualifying. Brilliant stuff. So that will set our grid for a 50% race around Spa with potentially a wet start and changeable conditions as the track starts to dry. So look forward to that one. Lightning, take us through the grid, if you will.
Daniele Musso on pole with a 1 minute 41.6. Fantastic lap from him. Followed by Dawidek, our debutant. Nathan, Kimi and Max quite far back in the timings. Very surprising to see, considering the previous differentials. Stinson good job from him. Hopefully get some points this weekend. Acosta, Maggot, Foxy, Liam, Endurum in P11, followed by Speed Queen, Livingwall. Not a very good performance there, sadly. Then Martin, Rymac, Matty, Burmeister, Bills, and A Quinlan with no time after having a crash.
Yeah, we were on board, weren't we, with him?
17th, but we know he's quite good in the race. So
but still, Lightning, 1.5 seconds separating our 17 time-setting drivers. I think round Spa, that's pretty handy.
That is pretty good, has to be said. It just shows how brilliant our top two have been. No,
absolutely. I completely agree. Looks like we've got a pair of Scots together in 14th and 15th. I know Dawidek is Scottish-Polish, so he races under the Polish flag, but he doesn't sound Polish when you talk to him. We've got Maggot and Endoran, the two Irishmen, in 8th and 11th, and then a lot of Brits further down the grid tonight. Of course, Italy on top, Netherlands third. I think that's Croatia, isn't it? P4 for Kimi.
I'm not sure because I don't know flags.
Okay, that's your homework then. Learn which flag he's representing. If you know in the chat, let me know, because I've forgotten. Martin is somewhat starstruck by the times people are doing, and you can see why. But yeah, if he'd have given Daniele's gone.
Daniele has left. I have to invite him real quick. Hopefully I don't have a glitch that I've been having of the lobby kicking me out.
And I doubly hope that him joining right now doesn't cause a glitch. Daniele's got error application, so he's going to have to restart. So I hope that if anyone's watching, nobody readies up here.
Yep, don't ready up, please. This time we want a 2-minute ready up.
Yes. Yeah. Hopefully the instruction will go out for us. Delange says Slovenia. Stefan says Slovakia. So thank you for that info. That's awesome. Tom says Foxy for the win. We know Foxy's got plenty of friends who tune in. Looks like Inters might be the tyre of choice for this sort of drizzly Spa. So hopefully the drivers can make those Inters last. Of course, we know that drivers are able to make Inters last a whole race, as proven during the Great British Grand Prix that we watched a few weeks ago. We may have an issue here. So
I can't invite him. It says he's joined, but he hasn't.
Okay.
Oh,
Stinson saying don't join until after race start. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see how the drivers manage to compete on the slippery conditions that they will have set the cars up, I imagine, for dry setups. I don't know if anyone will have gone for a gamble on wet, but I guess wet setup would still leave you with good downforce for that middle sector of the race, but it will leave you very vulnerable for the first and third sectors.
I think something's broken. It will not let me invite him.
Yeah, it could be that we've got a lobby break.
Oh no.
Let's wait and see.
I think Codemasters, in their infinite wisdom, have removed the custom grid editor with this recent update.
Really?
That's what I've heard. And they've also lovely made a glitch that on readying up, if you have like a PS4 or a slower console, it kicks you after a certain amount of time.
Right.
Yeah, good stuff.
Rymax saying his front left tyre is on 38 degrees, I imagine that is.
If you're stopped, then it really cools down a lot.
Okay.
Especially if there's a glitch after the formation lap, it also cools it down a lot.
Okay, well hopefully we'll get there. I know Daniele was waiting on an update happening just as we started the stream. I don't imagine that is the cause of the problem, but
I still can't invite him. He says he's joined, which he hasn't.
Yeah.
I think that if we ready up and then on the formation lap, we're going to try and invite him.
We hope so.
He will have high fuel, but I mean, it's better to be in the race.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
One good thing is that if you listen closely, you can hear the camera shutter from pictures being taken on the game. That's quite nice.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure you can hear people eating. Sounds like cutlery. All I think about is food. I mean, I should shut up.
Are you sure that's not just people eating in your house while you don't have your dinner?
Wait a minute. Oh yeah, my mum's made a salad. I forgot.
This is what happens, of course, when we're trying to fill time and we're waiting for this. I would imagine everyone's tyres are dropping at the same rate. We have got a countdown, so looks like we're going to get the formation lap underway, and hopefully Daniele will be able to rejoin during the formation lap or after race start. But he's just performing a restart on his system, so we've reached the maximum waiting time.
I can invite him. I've invited him.
Ah, great. I'm sure he'll be.
Please don't join during the formation lap.
I don't know if he's listening, but the formation lap begins, and I think the ghost of Daniele gets away from the line. Of course, I imagine everyone is on inters at this point. Let's see, does anybody gamble on wets? No, the full inter grid. We have obviously Daniele and Dawidek at the start. Dawidek will have an easy start of it if Daniele doesn't manage to join in time. We'll look for that notification at the bottom of the screen.
Especially considering the AI doesn't warm up your tyres very well.
Ah, yes. Nathan in the Alpine, the championship leading Alpine team in P3, with his teammate down in 7th, but usually finishes a little bit higher than that when he manages to finish. Acosta, who's also leading the championship right now. Then we have Kimi in the Williams. Max, usually one with the good results and the consistent finishes, as I mentioned at the start of the footage. Max P5 to start the race. Stinson's showing a 6th. Hopefully he can get some points for Ferrari, who badly need them at the moment. And with his teammate down in 14th, the onus is on Stinson to get a good result out of this one. The lead Red Bull is Maggott, who starts 8th. And then the Mercedes drivers together in the mist and rain, 9th and 10th. Foxy just eking out Liam. Yeah, we saw Daniele manage to join. Hopefully that doesn't cause us a start-like glitch or a lobby freeze.
You're no longer allowed to take control during the formation lap, so...
Ah, right, okay. So the game will start the race for him?
Yeah, and usually the AI is quite good at starts, even if they're at low level.
Yeah.
So that might be an advantage.
So we should be able to join on, perhaps on the way out of La Source, and just get hold of the car just as you go into Eau Rouge. That'll be fun. So I hope Daniele can survive the first few corners at least. Matty with a poor qualifying performance, but so did Burmeister below him, and of course we saw Bills and A. Quinlan crash out of the session. We were riding with A. Quinlan at the time, but Daniele in the Alfa Romeo will take the start on the pole position, rightfully earned with a stellar time, and the cars are just lining up now for the start of our race.
Sponsors.
Stinson saying he had to destroy the front left. Yes, sponsors. Thank you, Lightning. We are brought to you by Nailcut Hall, by GT Omega, and in partnership with Driver61 and Gridfinder.com. And we thank them for all their support as we come to start our race coverage. We've got the lights on. It's lights out and go, go, go away from the start. The Alfa Romeo didn't get away at all. Maggots in the wall on the side. We've got, was that Nathan coming up the inside? We've got a lot of glitching from Nathan's perspective. Dawidek taking it very, very gently. He just believes in his own pace over the race. Daniele's left the session again, Lightning, and has lost the lead of the race. Dawidek down to 3rd position and vulnerable to Kimi, who in turn is vulnerable to Acosta coming up the outside through Radion and down the camel straight for the first time. The Williams just on the inside, but I think the Alpine is going to get him as they head on into Les Comps. We have a VSC already. Do we have somebody tumbling down the order potentially?
Matty has retired from the race. Daniele has joined, and he should be able to take control of the car correctly this time.
Oh, brilliant.
But
okay.
from pole position to last by 6 seconds is not the start he wanted.
No, absolutely. A VSC is how we will restart this race shortly. We'll go green any moment. Stinson up 4 places, lightning off the start. Couple of corners. Bill's up 5. Drama for Maggott, Rimac and Daniele. And we go green. And I think, our Costa is close behind Dowdek. We haven't gone green yet.
It's just a very long virtual for some reason.
It is, yeah. I'm sure I saw cars accelerating, but
the timing thing has been a bit glitchy as well. Finally, we got it all. Oh yeah.
Yeah, Stinson complaining that he oh yeah, green flag. There we go. Quinlan retired from the session on the green flag.
Huge crash with Burmeister and Quinlan, and Burmeister spun.
Was that after the effect, or after Quinlan had retired? Did he crash into him?
I think there must have just been. I don't know. I wasn't on board, but all I can see is Burmeister spinning.
Sorry, Foxy launching one from a long way back, tags Max, but they both survive the bus stop. And Nathan gets the initial fastest lap of 2:13, but they'll go a lot faster than that as the tyres warm up.
Have no wing. Daniele is back, and he's in 14th.
Okay, Martin, because we've got pit stops from Livingwall, Martin, Rimac and Burmeister, all potentially with damage, you say, Lightning?
And Livingwall as well.
Trouble at the back of the grid tonight.
Trouble for the championship leaders.
Yeah, absolutely. Burmeister up there as well. Livingwall struggling on this Spa track, but up at the front it's Nathan from Stinson, shockingly up 4 places. Beautiful start for Stinson. Acosta up 4 places. Kimi down 1, Max down 1, Dowdek down 1, of course. But away we go. It's lap 2, and hopefully the 2 losses we've suffered already will not be added to anytime soon. We'll just keep an eye on the conditions as well, and the lap times, and see whether the track starts to dry out. If anything, it seems to be getting wetter right now, Lightning.
It certainly doesn't look good. Very treacherous conditions, especially at this track. Curbs go from completely lethal to even worse. It's very difficult, and just as I was talking about Stinson's weird season so far, he gets all the way up to P2, challenging for the lead in the slipstream. He's going to go for a move here, up the inside. I made it seem a lot more exciting than it was.
It looked easy, didn't it?
Move.
But he did it.
Fantastic.
Did it very cleanly and through. I wonder if he's got a little bit more downforce than the Alpine, because through Pouin he was amazing. Yes, he was absolutely amazing through that corner. Stinson, fastest lap, beaten by Kimi. Quinlan is bemoaning his poor luck, and yeah, you can absolutely feel for him. He's trained all week for this race. Crashes on his first flyer in quali, crashes on the first lap of the race.
So we're going to see a side-by-side moment up, ready on. Bill's overtaking Liam. Liam backs out of it.
Nice.
But will he get the run up the camel straight in the slipstream?
Let's go down and have a look. They are very close to each other.
I think he's just sitting back for now.
Yeah. There's no way past. It's very difficult to make it past there with just slipstream.
Rimac is on the mediums.
Oh wow. Okay. I didn't go to tyres because I wasn't expecting anyone to pit just yet. But Rimac
like
throwing the dice.
Turkey type of strategy. It's not going well for him at all.
Okay.
Stinson has made a mistake.
So
he's not got a front wing on the front right, sorry, and he is down to 6th place. Well,
does that mean that the person at the front of the race he was fighting with has also suffered. Nathan down to second, DomThNoodle up to first. I wonder if there was some contact there, Lightning, with...
I think Nathan has some damage.
He does.
He's going super slow.
Has he got a puncture potentially?
Doesn't look like it, but I think he has wing damage that isn't visible.
So potentially, possibly at the back of the car, damage if the front of Stinson's had trouble. But DomThNoodle inherits the lead on lap 3. We'll see. He's gapped the field already, 1.3 seconds, dropping the hammer. Speed Queen getting by Stinson as well. Stinson dropping to 9th right now. Is it starting to dry? There's a, yeah, Nathan, Acosta pits, Nathan pits. So the Alpines pitting together.
DRS enabled.
Sorry, Nathan went on.
Cypher dries.
Yeah.
Cypher dries.
The rain's still falling, but the dry race has been declared, so DRS has been enabled on lap 4. I don't think many people were expecting that.
How fast Rimac was at this last sector, and he in the first sector he's 1 minute 34.9. Sorry, he's going really fast. Yeah, DomThNoodle stopped Acosta, Stinson, as well as Rimac. So those are your 3 that have gone on to taking the early decision. You can see it's now dry, certainly like Common Malmedy at the back of the circuit. Perhaps it's still wet at the pit straight because we did see still some raindrops down there, but those are your pitting cars now. Livingwall, Maggots and Burmeister copy. Livingwall's gone onto hards, Lightning, on a cold, wet track. That is going to be treacherous.
It is, but he might be planning to run them.
The end.
Yeah.
Oh, nice drift out the pit lane. Not what you want to do, though. Extremely cold tyres, 70 degrees at the moment. You want them at 85.
Yeah.
Big lift through Radion. Don't blame him on that one.
Kimmy's fighting for the lead here with Nathan. Would like to get by before the pit stops because they'll come out of the pits in the same distance that they went into the pits, as long as they're not stacking with teammates, and that will be an issue for people like Max and Bills who pit soon.
Completely saved Stinson's race. He went from the lead to 8th with damage to now net podium, net P3.
Absolutely.
And Rimac, he's done quite a good strategy in the end.
Oh, a cheeky pit lane entry from Nathan. Just sorry to cut over you, but he completely missed the entry into the bus stop, overshot it, and then had to cut across the bows of Kimmy, who was already taking the decision to pit, assuming that he was going to stay out. Now, what does DomThNoodle manage to survive this run and end up back in the lead of the race? I can't even get hold of him on Race Director on
yes, he does
on broadcast screen, but yeah. Back in the lead with Acosta 2 seconds behind. Nathan trying to rejoin next to his teammate, and we lose Burmeister. We lose Burmeister.
Safety car is out.
And that's why there he is in the entry to Stavlo. You can see on the track map. I'm not sure what happened. I imagine the car will be moved by the time we get there, riding with DomThNoodle. But yeah, everybody on dry tyres now. Bills has gone on to softs, so committing for sure to a 2-stop. But most of the drivers, particularly the medium runners, Lightning, will be on a 2-stop tonight.
I think mediums cannot make it to the end, especially Bills on the softs. He could take 2 sets of softs here, especially with this safety car.
True.
Livingwall going with his strategy that he did in Austria to make the least amount of stops possible, as we saw last time he went onto the hard tyres, and that worked out well until the spin.
Worked out great until it didn't, yeah.
Stinson, from what would be a net podium, is now 9th because of that safety car, which is pretty heartbreaking.
So I've just seen the footage from Quinlan's DNF, and basically everyone had stopped at the bus stop during the safety car restart period, and he had nowhere to go, and it did look like he wasn't expecting people to be quite that slow quite so soon. So I'm afraid that we see no more of Quinlan. I hope he'll come back strong next week and shake it off, because that was a pretty awful result for him. The safety car is waiting just after La Source for DomThNoodle to pick it up. And of course the field will condense. We will go around the track with the safety car, and then we'll presumably, for very little reason, given that Burmeister's Alfa Romeo had been moved before they even got to it on the cooldown lap.
That's Codemasters for you.
Yeah, an interesting decision. I do think Michael Massey would have made a slightly different decision there, given that they were so far away from the stricken car. But we get to look at the safety car for a few laps, possibly, hopefully just this one. But your order on lap 6 is DomThNoodle, as Liam gets the first of his penalties tonight.
On the safety car.
He had a record amount last week. DomThNoodle from Acosta, Nathan and Kimmy. Then Max, Mr. Consistency Max, followed by Foxy, M. Doran, Speed Queen in 8th right now. Stinson down to 9th, so it didn't work out brilliantly for him, but he's back in the mix. Daniele Musso is in 10th after a dramatic night for him. But 10th place, I think he'll take that after the connection issues he's had so far, and something to build on for the rest of the race. There's still plenty of laps to go. Then outside of the points right now, Bill's in the McLaren. Liam with the first of tonight's penalties, which Liam managed to get under the safety car for track extension, presumably. Rymac is 13th, then Martin, Livingwall and Maggots at the back of the grid at the moment in the Red Bull. And unfortunately, it was Burmeister's DNF that triggered this particular safety car, but we also lost our Quinlan and Matty very, very early on. Matty, I don't think he completed a lap, did he?
No, I don't think so. Whilst we have this little interlude, go on board with the Aston Martin and the McLaren, and have you noticed any difference?
I'll spot the difference, we should say. Okay.
Especially the Aston Martin.
Not seeing what I should be seeing.
Yeah, the
on
Halo.
The McLaren.
The new additions, aero additions on the Halo.
Ah, I've seen it, yeah, from the cockpit position. Yes,
from the
I have
onboard,
seen those, yeah. Lots
and also,
of twisties.
the McLaren has those little winglets at the front.
Yes.
Which look quite nice.
A lot of eyebrows.
It's got another lap of safety car for some reason.
Ah, yeah, here we go.
Ah.
Thank you, Cody's. Well, make sure for us that you click the like button on the video today, please. A thumbs up, and make sure you subscribe to the channel because we've got racing for you every night of the week, midweek at least. So it's F1 today, F2 tomorrow, F3 Wednesday, and then we've got the Xbox and Realistic Performance League. Sorry, the PC. And Xbox, I believe. Leagues ready for you the rest of the week. So we've got one of everything, and also if you subscribe to the channel and click the bell, you'll of course get notified whenever Invictus is online and racing. And if you want to follow my output, you can do so. I always tweet my live streams at WebberRed5 on Twitter. Lightning doesn't want your follows.
No, don't care. With these extra safety car laps, I am 99% sure all of the medium runners are going to go to the end.
Wow. I think that's going to be a challenge, especially the end of the stint. It's going to be awful. But
was brilliant until this safety car.
Yes, and Livingwall's chance of competing, he will be so slow on those hard tyres after the safety car. You wonder whether he might have just given up that place and come in and put mediums on, maybe.
I think that his tyres, because no one else can really afford to pit, at the end of the race he will have a fantastic pace. He'll be a lot faster. So if he just keeps composed, stays within a few seconds of the cars ahead, he has a good shot of some decent points. Rymac with 4 lap old tyres, he's probably going to have to pit, sadly for him. Of course, along with Bills. But other than that, I think we're going to see a one-stop.
Now,
Daniele hasn't got a helmet.
Yeah, DomThNoodle has a safety car restart in Spa from the lead of the race, Lightning. So we'll hope that that goes well. And I think the rest of the field will probably not thank Maggot for staying so far back from the queue. He probably couldn't help it. He's got to race to a delta just like everybody else under safety car conditions. DomThNoodle has not gone yet. Will he go through the bus stop chicane or just launch it? I think he's actually paused. Yeah, he's paused slightly. He's gone now. He's gapped Acosta. Nathan looking close to the back of Acosta and takes a wide entry into La Source, and looking for good drive on the way out and a slipstream up the hill. Hopefully, it looks like Liam going backwards slightly.
Oh my goodness, Nathan, what a save.
He's vulnerable now though. He's vulnerable now though to Kimi. He's got a better run down the Camel Straight. Nathan taking the inside, trying to hold on, and Kimi sensibly doesn't launch one from the outside. Kimi gets a penalty, in fact, just going through that section.
Barely
Stinson,
anything.
likewise. Livingwall, likewise.
Everyone's getting a penalty. Oh my.
Yeah. Drama as Kimi spears off and out of the race. Kimi spears round No Name and loses the car. Cold tyres for Kimi.
Car.
And we go back to a safety car.
I didn't know that was possible. I thought that safety cars didn't come out when he just came in on the same lap. I didn't know that could happen.
Do you remember a certain race around Azerbaijan, Lightning?
Oh, never mind. Okay.
We won't speak of it again, but we did see successive safety cars. Let's hope that's not the case, but that one was accident damage, definitely caused by the loss of Kimi's car. Of course, the car has already been cleared from the track. I don't know about debris, but he did spear across out of No Name and out of the race from, it was, well, battling for third place at the time. That promotes Max, Foxy, Doran, Speed Queen, Stinson, Daniele and Bill's up a place, of course. But DomThNoodle holds on to the lead from Acosta and Nathan, the Alpine Championship leading pair. We've got some pit stops. We've got a Ferrari going in. We've got Liam, Martin, Livingwall probably sensibly coming in. But yeah, if you're at the back of the grid and you're not going to lose any places, why not?
Exactly. Especially if the person ahead, and then if two people ahead of you pit, then you might as well. Then you'll stay in the same position. Yes. With much better tyres. But it pretty much solidifies a one stop for everyone now. No one is going to... Rymac should have pit. 6-lap old mediums. It's going to be difficult for him to get those to the end. But 2 more safety car laps could be the case. Bill's onto another set of the softs. What?
He likes the soft tyres tonight. He has no requirement to fit anything less durable, but yeah, it does seem a little odd. The penalties for Stinson, Liam and Livingwall we saw rack up all successively in the first restart lap. I think that's just the impact of cold tyres, Lightning, on the restart lap, and I think that can definitely be to blame for Kimi's exit, who messages us with the hashtag in love with this track. I think there's a little note of sarcasm in there, Kimi, and we feel for you. It's definitely a rough bit of luck you've had, but we look forward to seeing you again next week. The Red Bulls down in 9th and 10th, and on a slightly confusing strategy. Rymac opting not to go in, but fresh tyres for Stinson, Bills, Liam, Livingwall and Martin, and Bills again on that slightly confusing strategy. I don't know that he gained a lot doing that. Did he, Lightning, on the first restart?
Well, the restart was only half a lap, so he didn't really have much of an opportunity to gain, just keeping his nose clean. But 12 laps on softs, I can barely do 7, personally.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I don't think I'm on the level of these drivers at the moment, but I think my tyre wear isn't that bad compared to them, so it's going to be quite difficult.
Yeah, absolutely. But if you're not pushing the tyres quite as hard as them, surely you're using them less. Nathan, the only driver to be exactly where he started the race, P3, Everybody else has moved around. Obviously, we know Daniele suffered big time from his disco and restart, and his AI start was not kind at all. It barely moved off the grid, so lost the vast majority of his places.
I'm not sure why that happened, but these safety cars have definitely helped him from 18th by 6 seconds to 8th.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks like another strong weekend for Alpine so far. Qualifying well, racing even better, especially for Acosta, who wants to hold on to the lead of both championships if he can. DomThNoodle here for glory and for wins. Yeah,
in the lead, pretty impressive. Max always in the top 5. Like, I don't think I've ever seen him below it.
Yes.
I've cursed him just now, so I'm sorry. But it's pretty impressive consistency. Hopefully he gets a win sometime soon.
Well, you see, I don't count it as a curse if you are describing accurate facts. So if you say that it has been like this, that's fine. If you say it will be something, then you're cursing. I think that's how the rules work.
Thank you for clarifying that. Good stuff.
The Brian Mack fans are just reminding us that he's up to 9th. He is up to 9th, but confusing us with his tyre strategy right now. Yeah.
with 4 safety car laps, so it's not the end of the world, but it's probably around 15-ish% because he was struggling a lot on that wet track.
Yeah.
Not overheating, spinning the tyres isn't going to help, and understeering through the corners. So that's going to add like twice the normal tyre wear.
Absolutely. It's we've got 12 long laps of Spa to go. Hopefully there'll be long racing speed laps and no more of these safety cars. But that will very much depend on how our cars restart on these cold tyres. As you say, we've got everyone on mediums. Oh, a little bit of dramatic stopping going on. Let's try and make it through this restart without losing another car, please, guys.
Safety car restarts are always quite nerve-wracking when you're in them, because you have no idea what the other person's going to do. It's always very erratic, and it's basically like Magello in real life.
DomThNoodle, ooh, he had a slightly false start there. Lit the touch paper, sprinted away, possibly doing a burnout, and got going. That might trigger the Speed Queen M. Doran collision penalty as Nathan spins up the back tyres going through on the way out of the bus stop. Is vulnerable now to Max, who launches one down into last source. Max won't have great traction on the inside, and Nathan just rescuing that one just about, as Max now has Foxy close up behind him as they head on through Eau Rouge. Foxy will have a double tow through the Kemmel Straight. Will he be able to do anything as they approach the right-hander of Le Comte? Not quite. Looks like the car's struggling for top speed differences. And let's hope our cars make it through this middle sector of the lap while the tyres are still heating up. Acosta half a second behind DomThNoodle, 1.7 seconds ahead of Nathan. Looks like Bill's making up a place on Stinson further down the lap. Everybody making it through, no names safely this time. Yes, I think so. And it's into Pouant, fully loaded on the right hand side of the car. Avoid that inside curb like the plague. And thankfully everybody through so far safely. Foxy looking closest of all the cars on track to causing an overtake here. He's right up behind Max.
Bills and Stinson side by side through Stabilo 2. Contact, but no spin. Stinson around the outside of that right-hander. Very impressive stuff. Hopefully getting some points for Ferrari.
I can see Foxy launching one. Max takes the inside line. He doesn't quite make a move on the Alpine. Nathan gets a penalty for corner cutting. He got that corner all wrong, not for the first time tonight. An Alpine goes wide on the entry into bus stop, gets a 5-second penalty, takes a wide entry, and Foxy fancies a look at the inside at the same time. He won't get good traction coming out of that way, but Foxy will have a good run on the way up through Eau Rouge. Might even have to lift Lightning on the way through here.
He does.
Whoa.
He's still got a good run.
Yeah.
Double slipstream. Where is he going to go? Everyone's weaving.
Max takes the inside line, cuts off the overtake. Will Foxy split the difference between the two cars. He just about brakes slightly earlier ahead of everybody else, gets a purple sector for that double toe down the Camel Straight, and now he's looking very, very close behind as they go through into Rivage. We are over halfway now through our race, believe it or not. I'm sure you would believe it.
Going up the inside at Pluon. He thought about it. But he's got a championship to fight for, so those sorts of moves are going to be very risky.
Bill's looking amazing on these soft tyres, Lightning. He's attacking Rymac now. He's already got by Stinson. Maximum attack from Bill's while the soft tyres
Stinson has made a mistake. He's gone into the gravel. Has he hit the wall? He hits the wall and he's out.
And he's taken a corner off the car, retired from the session, caused a yellow flag, going through Stavlo, and we go for another safety car, folks.
Yeah, well, that has helped Bill's out quite a lot.
Yes, you'd think Bill's will pit now. Would anybody else decide to pit, Lightning, with 11
he might well
10
make
to go?
it to the end. He could make it to the end.
We have got Nathan in the pits, one of our leaders. Nathan has pitted.
He had damage.
Surely that's going to be
damage.
softs.
Yes,
is it?
Most likely. Yes, it is, I think.
Rymac, Bills, Livingwall, Martin, all in the pits again. Let's check out their tyres. What are they all going to choose for? Rymac goes for softs. Bills goes for mediums. So
Nathan goes for mediums.
Yeah.
Why is Bills going for mediums?
Mr. Softs of the night, Bills, decides his final stint will be mediums. Is he out of fresh sets, Lightning, and he doesn't fancy using a scrub set to the end of the race for what,
I mean,
what will be 8 laps?
That doesn't make any sense. I would go for the soft tyre. I mean,
Tell us how you really feel.
After all that gambling, you might as well go for the softs when it's a good amount of laps to the end.
Absolutely. I know it's a strange time to ask for it, but just a reminder from everybody. Got 18 people watching the stream, and I've got 6 people have liked the video. So come on, guys. Once those numbers get closer, I won't ask you again. But let's like the video for me, please. Especially before we hit the restart and you forget, as we go for around an 8-lap sprint to the end, hopefully.
No more safety cars, please.
Yeah, William says this race is all over the place. Well, the race is just mini in between. It's just a series of restarts, isn't it? Effectively. We have 14 runners after 13 laps, and that yeah, so 5 out so far. I hope that's it now. But the way things have worked out on this through this restart, this caution period, Dawidek from Acosta and Max up to P3 now, with Foxy, M. Doran, Daniele Muse up to 6th with those pit stops and clean restarts from him. M. Doran has a penalty though, a 5-second penalty to pay. Speed Queen's caught a 5-second penalty, but that was under safety car conditions, and I do wonder if they will try and get those removed. Maggot, Liam, Nathan, Rymac, Bills, Livingwall and Martin, complete your order. I don't think that Speed Queen got that penalty lifted last time that she was looking for. When we spoke to her, it was a penalty for being overtaken under, I think it was under VSC conditions, wasn't it? Yeah, and well, either she didn't report it or it didn't go her way from the stewards.
But this 5-second penalty, personally, I think it's a glitch in the game to slight contact, even if it doesn't do anything at all, but it'll give both people a penalty. Yeah. It doesn't make any sense. But if you don't serve it, then I don't see why it couldn't be removed. But, at the moment, right. Daniele is good recovery. Hasn't made many overtakes, just kept it clean after the disconnect, and got on his way up to P6, damage limitation.
That's right, and is on all the same strategy tyres as the leaders. I'm relatively surprised, Lightning, that the only leading car to come in was Nathan. I kind of thought that Dawidek might have gone for softs to the end of the race.
It's quite risky to get rid of your leading, best track position you can get, and go into the thick of it, overtaking people under the restart. It's quite dangerous because you don't know what people are going to do.
No, I agree. I just thought more cars might have tried it, especially if they felt stuck behind the car in front. But I suppose everybody fancies a restart overtake, so everyone backs themselves in a restart to make up ground. Tends to be the way it goes.
Sometimes it can go well, or it can go very wrong, as we saw for Nathan.
That's right. Hopefully, Dawidek has exorcised the ghosts of Spa races past. Seems to have had some very clean restarts so far, and away with front of the grid. Safety car in this lap. You don't want to see anybody off for a cold tyre incident or struggling with a restart. You see enough people drop the car on the exit curbs, let alone the other areas of the race. Max up to P3. That's very, very good for him so far. Up 2 places. Acosta up 5 though, and Max needs to be beating Acosta. So does Daniele, so does Foxy and Livingwall in order to challenge for the championship.
When will Dawidek send it? Very slow through the exit.
Whoa, Dawidek. This is a bit rude as Max launches it as well. I think, will Max get a penalty for that, or did he pass the control line? Foxy was completely balked by Dawidek's restart, and Foxy now on the defensive, but lost out to Acosta lost out to Max there because he was the one stranded on the inside of Dawidek, who stopped accelerating at least. I don't think he braked. Martin caught a penalty through that exchange, and Acosta back down the outside of the Kemmel Straight. Max will hold on into Les Combes, but a forceful overtake around the outside from Acosta makes light work of that small wobble he had on the restart. Anything going on further down, Lightning, we need to be aware of?
Not that I can see at the moment, but it's very close, as you'd expect after the restart.
So Bill's on the attack again. Bills and Speed Queen go side by side, touching wheels on the way to Pouon. There can only be one, and it's Speed Queen who wins out on that exchange.
Rimac had contact with Liam, but everything is alright. Rimac with the advantage of those soft tyres. You can see the grip difference that he has against Liam. That's absolutely fantastic. Max has gotten past Costa, and there's a huge battle. Foxy gets into P3.
Costa almost runs into the wall on the exit of Stavlo. And he's been massively balked on the way. It's now just being
huge
mullered.
Crash.
It's Acosta out. There's a Red Bull going around as well. It was Maggot.
Huge crash as well. Oh my goodness me. I was on board with Acosta as that happened.
Nathan trying to get by Rimac as well, and is now defending from Liam. Nathan has just about managed to regain his momentum. Dawidek will see those yellow flags and be cursing the drivers behind him for these constant interruptions, but somehow with 2 retirements on that 16th lap, we managed to stay without another safety car.
That is the only time there should have been a safety car. And there wasn't.
Maggot's car is still out there on the back straight.
Maggot's car has extreme damage.
Start-finish straight. Is he still running? He is.
He is still running, but he had a huge impact on the rear end. He must
Daniele
have
up to 3rd Lightning, got past Foxy on the way through Malmedy. Possible advantage of not having a helmet, but up to P3, only a second away from Max once they get the DRS re-enabled, and the top 4 and the 6th place driver racing without a penalty. Looks like Maggots has got the car back under control, but he's miles away from the field now.
That is the most hectic restart we've had.
And I tell you what, a massive turnaround in form for Liam. who struggled no end getting around the Red Bull ring last week, but he's so far racing very clean. 3 seconds of penalties puts him about in the middle of the order, but he's currently riding P7 and doing a great job holding off Rimac. Not for long, I don't think. Rimac looking very, very quick on these soft tyres.
Is he going to send it?
Rimac needs to make the places
oh
now.
My
Whoa!
goodness.
Launches one down, makes contact with the Alpine. That will certainly be penalty worthy. Speed Queen profits from both of them, as yeah, that was way too late on the brakes from the Red Bull driver on the soft tyres, Rimac, but he had to have a go, but he just left that slightly too late, almost overdid it and ran into the Alpine, while Speed Queen made.
By the fact that Liam defended the middle and he didn't know whether to send it or not, and he didn't know which way to go, and the slight jolt to the right made him lose his braking.
He was way too late on the brakes.
Oh, there's contact between Martin and Liam. I think Martin got hit on the rear end. I think Liam may have damage.
Daniele up to P2, no. Lightning. While that all happened, he got past Max.
And he's catching up to Dawidek. He's caught up 1 second in the past lap.
Wow. Daniele with the bit between his teeth. He's on it tonight. He's absolutely raging through this race. I think he's proper mad about the start, about the disco, and he's driving with the red mist. Now, what will Dawidek have in the tyres at the end of this race, I wonder. But
1 lap older, so that would be good. Oh, there's contact. Nathan, I think he's round. Along with Speed Queen, there's contact between those two.
Oh, right, okay. So, not for the first time, Nathan is in contact with other drivers, not apportioning any kind of blame here. Speed Queen, I think, has got damage. She's really struggling around the corners, and if she wasn't happy with second place last week, Lightning, she's damn sure not going to be happy with being down in 11th with a broken front wing.
She may need a few litres of tea.
Yes, more than a cup of tea this week. Maybe a stiffer drink, perhaps, if
Daniele,
that's her taste.
Fastest lap.
Yeah.
1.3 seconds he's caught up to Dawidek in 1 lap. That is very impressive.
We've seen this before from Daniele, just that he just goes into 8th gear. He did it in qualifying tonight. He did it in Australia, and I think he did it another time in the championship as well. When Daniele is driving angry, I don't think there's a faster driver out there.
Absolutely fantastic.
Catching Dawidek now through the first sector. He'll be on his tail soon, but how much of his tyres does he use up in so doing? We've got a yellow flag, sector 1. We've got a stopped
Nathan.
Alpine, is it?
Yeah, the Constructors Championship leaders. He is having a torrid time, overheating his rear tyres, spinning it through Radion. He's not out, but
we lost Acosta. Did we even mention losing Acosta? I don't.
Yes, yeah. Apparently there was a very annoying occurrence at the bus stop chicane.
Right.
And nowhere he could go.
No, that was a Quinlan.
Oh yeah.
So wait, no, Acosta.
We did mention Acosta.
Yeah,
he was at Blanchimont, and there was a huge crash.
That's right.
And he spun around.
Right. That seemed to precipitate whatever happened with Maggot as well.
Yeah.
Who Speed Queen has now dropped behind Maggot and has put hard tyres on.
Why?
With 4 to go.
That must have been a strategy suggested by Jeff, and then forgot to change it.
Thanks, Jeff.
The MFD.
Hashtag thanks, Jeff. This one's brought to you with, I think. Yeah.
Martin for Ferrari on those soft tyres, catching up to Bills. I think Nathan and Maggot have both had an off. Maggot with severe rear diffuser damage from that huge shunt to the wall.
Is that even visible on?
It's not visible, but from the speed that he hit the wall, it's guaranteed that he has it.
Yeah, absolutely. Talking of closing, Daniele is almost within a second. M. Doran is within half a second of Foxy. And we've got a competitive one to the end here. What about the race from McLaren and Bill so far? Nathan
completely
out of the race.
In the pits, thankfully in the pits.
Oh, thankfully, yeah. Has he had enough? We've got is that Maggot in the pits as well? After one lap on the soft tyres, he's just going for a glory run. No,
he's
Maggot
retiring.
out. Okay. So Speed Queen will have a lonely and slow run to the finish on hard tyres. DomThNoodle holds on to the lead. We just about hold on to not having a, fifth safety car?
Yep. Fourth, I think. And that's the maximum you can have.
Daniele in now within DRS, and now it's going to get tasty with 3 laps to go, Lightning. These two in a race of their own, frankly, tonight.
Absolutely. My heart is racing. I cannot imagine what theirs is like. Daniele fighting for the championship lead. Acosta is out. This is an amazing opportunity for him, considering the horrible start he had to this race. DomThNoodle, after a month away from racing, debut in IRL, leading almost from start to finish. Going to be quite nervous as well.
Yeah.
This is going to be a fantastic battle. 2 fastest drivers we have.
Half a second as they enter Eau Rouge. That's before the DRS kicks in. Now we press the button.
Any DRS. Not yet.
Taking it easy. Here comes Daniele with the DRS coming around the outside. DomThNoodle being patient, letting him through. Knows he's got some tools to fight with later, I think. Let's have a look. 33% for Daniele, who just took the lead. Slightly more, up to nearly 50% for DomThNoodle. And he'll need every bit of that to get past the flying Italian driver, Daniele Musso, looking to resume the lead of the championship if he can tonight. And DomThNoodle just looking to impress and consolidate his return to racing.
I think DomThNoodle is on 2 track limit warnings.
Ooh, what about Daniele?
I'm checking that just now. I think he is on. Also, he's on 2.
But DomThNoodle's been gapped. DomThNoodle's down beyond DRS.
Seconds.
So whatever Daniele's got to do with it, yeah. Maggot says he couldn't continue with the rear wing issue. I think Nathan's had floor damage and couldn't drive the car. Bill's on the attack for another place here, looking at the Aston Martin car of M. Doran. Around the outside he goes into the bus stop. It's a difficult move to pull off, but he does it. He runs side by side, gets the overlap, and away he goes. Should get DRS down this short squirt down to La Source. And Bill's now up to P5. What a race Bill's has had.
It has been fantastic from Bill's. Both McLarens showing their good pace, good racecraft.
13 places up for Bill so far, and I mean Daniele has done probably more than that after rejoining control down in 18th. Yeah, so
fantastic. I'm
absolutely.
just so shocked.
The pace, yeah, the pace of Daniele is incredible tonight. Absolutely incredible. Similar sentiment coming from Delange in the chat. Fozzy says great move by the McLaren. It really was by Bill's. Just put his car on the outside, gave M. Doran no real choice in the matter, and managed to do it. Ran the bus stop without contact. This one is looking amazing. To the end, we've got about 1.5 laps to run. Bills is gapping the car behind. Livingwall and Rymac going side by side as they approach Pouin.
Oh my goodness.
The Red Bull trying to hang on, but really there is only one space for a car through there, or someone's running on the curbs. Livingwall gets by up to P9 now for an extra point. Let's have a quick look at fastest lap. I don't suppose there's any competition in that.
No.
Wow. Okay, yeah. Daniele's got it by nearly 0.8 of a second from DomThNoodle at this stage of the race.
Mad.
It is mad, not just because he's had such an impressive race, but because you and I know the pace of DomThNoodle. Frankly, yeah. Very, very impressive. Daniele, they say iron sharpens iron, and I think these two have found a new gear tonight, challenging each other.
The gap to Max is already 4 seconds, nearly 5 seconds, and we know that Max isn't slow, as he is the championship leader at this moment.
Mr. Consistency, Max. I think McLaren will be on for a great haul of points tonight if they can finish this final lap in style.
Daniele's got a penalty. Daniele has got a penalty.
But he's 2.6 seconds away from Dawidek Lightning. So it's 2.7 seconds. It's going to be one of those type of races. What can really Dawidek do with the end of this race? I was watching with Bills, Martin M. Doran, but yeah, that penalty is a huge deal. Dawidek will now look at the penalty and not believe his eyes. He's 2.97 seconds. Who has got anything left in the tank? Dawidek spent nearly everything. In fact, if anything, Daniele's got slightly more ERS to finish this race off. I'm not sure he's going to hold on.
There's a crash. Bills and Martin had a crash. Bills is still in the race.
It's all about the bus stop.
70 milliseconds.
That's it for Daniele. What can he do? 1/10 is his gap. He goes through.
No
Blanchimont.
Any driver.
Yeah, they've spent everything they've got. What can he do under braking? Can he get it right into the final corner of the race? This looks fairly smooth. 1/4 of a second. Daniele is going to win in Spa from Dawidek on his debut.
Wow.
Gets second place by.
Dawidek gets it. What?
How did that happen?
I think that there may be an error there, but oh my god!
Wait a minute.
I think the gap.
I'm confused. The penalty wasn't 5 seconds from Daniele, was it?
No, it was 3.
Okay, well, Max with third, Foxy 4th place, Martin gets 5th place in the Ferrari. Great points, they needed them so badly, Ferrari.
Wait, there's a if someone rejoins, there could be desync. The gap could have been different to what we're seeing. Dawidek could have been seeing a 2-second gap.
Okay, so
the stewards are going to have to look at this at the end.
Yeah, definitely.
I have no idea who the real winner is.
Daniele is confused. Daniele is confused. We had a showstopper for the end of the race, as you rightly point out. A desync could well be
the issue.
Yeah, could be it. I didn't manage to complete the grid, but we'll do that in a second. I don't know if Daniele or Dawidek are going to be in the mood for talking if the win is in doubt here.
Yeah.
The podium as decided by the game. Currently, they will have to look at overall race times from the two drivers, I assume, on their race directors for the final decision. Dawidek gets the top step with Daniele. That could be reversed. I don't think there's any doubt about Max's 3rd place. Another great, consistent drive from Max and another podium for him in the championship. Daniele kicking himself for that 3-second penalty, but insisting that he is number 1. So
I've invited Dawidek to the party to see what it had on his screen.
I'm here.
Hello.
Hey, Dawidek. Let us just go through the grid while we've got it on screen, and then we'll talk to you. So the game tells us Dawidek wins by a single second from the fastest lap winning Daniele. But we have a little bit of doubt over that. I don't doubt Max's 3rd place in the McLaren. Foxy, wow. Yeah, I've just realised Bill's down in 7th after those penalties. Foxy in 4th. Martin gets 5th position for Ferrari from 14th on the grid. Bills gets 7th with M. Doran between the two drivers. Bills with arguably driver of the day from grid position to finish.
Altercation with Martin, which is why he had a half spin on the last lap.
Liam gets a good consistent drive in P8. Livingwall gets 2 points in 9th from Rimac in 10th, and then it's Speed Queen, then the DNFs of Maggot, Nathan, Acosta, Stinson, Kimi, Burmeister, A. Quinlan and Matty. Dawidek, are you celebrating a win or a second place, do you think, tonight?
It's a second place. There's no way I won that. I had, going into the chicane, I was 3.1 seconds behind.
Yes.
And then after the chicane, apparently I won by a second. So I guess it's just a timing glitch because he did disconnect in the race. And that happens sometimes. So yeah, it's a P2 for me, definitely.
The slight question there from Lightning was around rejoining during lap 1. Does that cause a timing desync?
Yeah, I think it does.
Okay. So let's see. But congratulations anyway. I mean,
Thanks.
Daniele and yourself pushing each other to the absolute limit. Looked like you entered a new zone tonight, the two of you, in terms of pace. And qualifying was magic. The race was fantastic as well, Dawidek.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I feel like Daniele was much faster today, especially towards the end when my tyres were giving out. I think I pitted lap 4. even though there was a couple of safety cars, I was still about 60% tire wear. So I was just trying to not crash, and then I seen he got a 3-second penalty, so I was like, uh-oh, started pushing again. But yeah, it wasn't enough, unfortunately.
Yeah, that was something else. I mean, we were on the edges of our seats. Lightning said his heart rate was going through the roof towards the end of the race. What was yours doing?
Mine was like going through the roof as well, not even gonna lie. Once I seen that 3-second penalty, it was on, but yeah, I just didn't have enough tire, like, life left or ERS, so yeah, I couldn't really close that gap.
How are you feeling about this return to racing? Glad to be back?
Yeah, I'm after a month off, like, I feel clear-headed again, and I'm actually enjoying this game again. So this was my first race back. So I mean, it wasn't to my full potential, but I feel like I was decent enough.
I think so, and I think you've definitely convinced everyone that you are have a worthy place in the F1 Championship. Let's see what you can do for the rest of the season. We're only halfway through, so who knows? Maybe you can get yourself a good place at the end of the championship. Well, great drive, and thanks for joining us in the press conference.
Thank you.
Good to talk to you again, my friend. Thanks, man.
No worries. Bye.
Lightning, did you manage to secure either of our other podium drivers?
We have Max with us, and I've asked Muso to join as well. But Max is here right now.
Hey, Max. How are you today? That was a great race.
Well, hi. I've survived the chaos once again,
yes.
So really glad. I mean, it was really a weird race with 2 or 3 safety cars, then the start with rain conditions. So it was just a matter of staying on the track, especially in the end, because I thought like for 1 lap or something, I could maybe fight for the victory. But then Davidek was too quick, and then I saw that Muso came from nowhere behind me. So I prefer to let him through, knowing that he's a really, really quick driver, and secure the podium. So another podium finish, my second time here, so really glad.
Yeah, no, that was a typically consistent, steady, and clean drive from you tonight. Did you see any drama at all in the race, or were you just focused and getting through it nicely?
Yes, actually a lot, because I saw Timmy doing a spin, like at the fifth or sixth lap, something like that. So I went like P4. Then Nathan had like a bit of trouble. So I overtook him. Then P3. Then Acosta had the same mistake or something like that just after the restart. So I was up to P2, and I couldn't believe it, really, because I don't think I've done a single overtake during this race, and,
wow.
and I am P3, so it's really cool.
Yeah, it is really, really good, and you're definitely making a name for yourself for your mature and calm driving. When everyone else is losing their heads, you're the one keeping your head race after race after race. That's only going to help in the battle for the championship, especially with Acosta not performing quite so well tonight. Do you think you'll have what it takes to challenge at the front with Daniele over the long haul of the season?
Well, honestly, like two weeks ago, I was leading the championship, and I was like, I've only done like a P3 finish, something like that. Couldn't fight for any victories during the season so far, and then I'm leading the championship. So I mean, like, what is going on really? So I hope it will continue that way. To fight with Daniele Musso, I don't know. It seems like really out of range for now. I keep doing what I do best, stay on the track, gain as many points as I can, and it seems to work perfectly so far. So I will continue that way, that's for sure.
It does. You happy with your setup tonight? It looks like you're setting up the car for the race. You move forward versus your qualifying performance, and you're getting the most out of the setups.
Well, yes, I think my setup was really fine, and during the first part of the race with the rain, I wasn't completely lost. I thought I was going to be really bad at the start during the rain, but it only stayed for like 5 minutes or something like that.
Yeah.
I had like good speed trap. I don't know if you is it in English like VMAX like
Yep.
is it speed trap? I have a
Yes.
doubt.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Yep. Top speed, whatever.
Sorry.
Yep. We get you.
Sorry.
That's okay.
So I was able to keep Foxy Red behind.
Yeah.
And then yes, just manage my tires and stay on the track and yes, P3. So very cool.
Really, really cool. Congratulations. Another really strong drive. And thanks so much for joining us in the press conference. Looks like we're heading out to Russia next week.
Yeah, thank you guys for the compliments. Russia, I think the main goal will not to be like to not take any penalties.
Sure.
It will be a challenge, but for sure, I think if I can manage to race and to end the race without any penalties, maybe it will be a good finish as well. So we'll see.
Brilliant stuff. Thanks a lot, Max. Great to talk to you. Well, thanks everybody for sticking with us right to the end. Thanks for liking the video. Make sure you've done that before you leave if possible. Share the race on socials if you're happy with your result. Of course, if you're watching back as a driver. And thank you, of course, to our sponsors, Nelcut Hall, to GT Omega, for our partners, gridfinder.com and Driver61. Lightning, what's your kind of summary? We had a lot of safety cars, but no shortage of action, as I said, at the same time. That
was possibly the best race of the season. I mean, we've had really fantastic ones. Canada, we had that win by 2/10 from Acosta. Brazil, we had that run to the line. We've had so many amazing races, but I'm thinking of my drive of the day. I can't really think of one, to be honest. I mean, Musa going from 18th to first, and Daradek having the amazing debut after not racing for a month. It's just really fantastic performances.
You've got to put Bills in that mix as well, I think, with his 13 places gained.
That is pretty impressive,
especially with those confusing pit stop strategies that he took through the safety cars. He kind of got that result despite his tyre choices.
Had it not been an altercation with, I think it was Martin on the last lap, he could have gotten P6 or maybe even P5. So that was very good as well. So I honestly can't choose, to be honest.
That's okay. You don't have to. We've really enjoyed tonight's racing, and obviously, as I mentioned before, tune in to the same channel each night this week, but make sure you don't miss another thriller. We're heading out to Russia, and I expect mistakes and track limit exceeding and wall hitting aplenty in the Sochi track. It's not a track you see very often in league racing, so we'll look forward to seeing how the drivers cope with an unusual challenge. Liam is very pleased for his turnaround in form, very, very pleased to not spin today, and you've got to say bravo to Liam, and overall a cracking race. We're fairly sure Daniele will secure that one, but we'll get confirmation for you at the start of next week's race. Same time, same place next week. But until then, thanks to Lightning, thanks to all our sponsors, everyone watching and everyone running the league in the background. Do make sure that you treat everybody kindly in the admin of your league. And until next time, thanks to everybody, and we will catch you on the next race day.